All right, welcome to Game 10 post-game press conference from the 2023 SEC Baseball Tournament. Just a reminder that Jaden and Ben will be passing microphones. For your questions, please raise your hand and wait to be called upon. We're joined by Auburn head coach Butch Thompson and third baseman Bryson Ware. We'll get an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll take questions just for Bryson after that.
Well, congratulations to Alabama. Proud of this guy right here, and the conference and all the teams and this community just put on another great tournament. It's nice to see year after year and after 2 decades in this league how those tournaments continue to grow. It's one of the best tournaments with the most talent ever in college athletics.
All right, raise your hand. We'll take a question in the front for Bryson.
Bryson, just to reach the program record outright 24 home runs, just how does that feel?
It's awesome. It's really cool to do it at this stage in the SEC tournament with the good crowd in the stands against Alabama. Makes it a little sweeter, but it's cool to have Hunter on the other side, the previous record holder, and I just couldn't be more thankful, and I'm blessed for the opportunity, and ready to hopefully get a little bit more and help my team out, and do what we can do in the regionals, hopefully super regionals, Omaha, whatever it takes us. But I'm really excited.
All right, in the center of the room.
Bryson, how important would it be to you guys to host, and what would that mean to you?
Yeah, it'd be huge. Being a part of it last year, I hosted a regional, and our fans came out, and it was a really fun atmosphere, and really cool to be a part of. So it definitely had a huge part to play in what we were able to do last year, and hopefully we can get that opportunity again, and bring a regional to Auburn, Alabama, and get those Auburn's fans, be able to play in front of them again. It'd be really, really cool. So, hopefully I hadn't played my last game at Plainsman Park. So, hopefully we get that opportunity, and, I'll be really happy if we get to go back there. But if not, we're going to compete our butts off and do what we can wherever we are placed. So.
Just after last year, getting a good bit of time off between getting bounced from the SEC tournament, heading into the NCAA tournament, getting a couple days, just how valuable is that as far as heading into the the national tournament?
Yeah, it's huge. Just to get as much rest as we possibly can. Obviously, you want to go as far as you can in the SEC tournament and win the championship here, but it's good to get our pitchers off our feet, position players off our feet. Get a little bit of rest and get our minds right and put all our focus towards whoever we line up against in the regional and so forth. So it's really, you really want to go as far as you can in the SEC tournament, but, if you're put out, it's not a terrible thing because you get as much rest as you possibly can to moving forward to, the ultimate goal is Omaha, which is the top goal. So.
Question in the front row.
Yeah, Bryson, you just touched on this a minute ago, but did you feel like the team was a little bit weary, a little bit worn out coming into this tournament after the run you made in the season there?
Yeah, we didn't get much sleep last night, so, it's I don't want to make any excuses or anything. Auburn, came out and they competed their butts off, and, they won it fair and square. So, that's on us. If we let that kind of get to us, we need to be tougher, which is one thing we've kind of prided ourselves on as a team this whole year is, we're going to be the toughest team out there. And today we weren't, we weren't there mentally, we weren't there physically, and, we just got to be better. So we can learn from that moving forward, and we'll probably, face up things like that again if, we make a run. So, it's it sucks, but, it prepares us for the ultimate goal. So.
Before the game, what all did he say to you?
Yeah, he just said congratulations, and it's really cool to be able to do that in front of him. And he said we'll see him in Omaha. So that'll be really cool to get the Auburn and Alabama fans in Omaha if we both get a chance to go play there. So but yeah, that's pretty much all he said. Not too much.
Any more questions for Bryson? One here in the front row.
Bryson, you've already been asked about the home run thing, but all the good players that have played at Auburn, great players like Frank Thomas, Bo Jackson, Josh Donaldson, how does it feel to have your name above them in a single season home run record?
it's a really satisfying feeling. You know, some outstanding athletes have worn this jersey that I'm wearing right now, and you know, to be on the top of that in the home run category, it's really cool. You know, see some of that hard work that I've been putting in off season, during the season, whatever that may be, to pay off a little bit. So, you know, I can't be more thankful for the opportunity from Coach, and to be able to line it up with my brothers and be able to, you know, reach that milestone. You know, I'm thankful for the opportunity that the Lord gave me, and you know, hopefully I can play for as long as I can, and you know, reach to where those guys have played in the big leagues and so forth. But you know, it's a really cool feeling right now. You know, we're just focused on the regional and what we can do in the postseason.
All right, well, excuse Bryson, I apologize for now. Thank you very much. We'll take questions for Coach.
Appreciate y'all.
Start over here on the right.
Coach, you've seen Alabama before this season. Have you noticed anything different since Jason took over, and do you kind of tip your cap to what he's done so far?
Well, I just told him I was proud of him. He's been a good coach for a long period of time, and everybody respects JJ. And when he's got his opportunity, I think there's enough maturity there that he's handled himself extremely well. So as a coach that's been in this league a long time, we absolutely respect people that handle themselves very well, and he's done an amazing job. Hadn't watched him as much in person, of course, since we've played them, but I just think their pitching staff's just been that good. I think overall, I just think the quality and the depth of being able to run 9 innings or an entire series, I think he's done an amazing job with their pitching staff, and you'd probably imagine and guess that their leadership's pretty good, but JJ's done a very steady job.
Got a question down here in the front?
But Alabama just kind of took advantage of a lot of opportunities. You guys had some chances, just the difference in maybe a couple of clutch hits here or there today.
Yeah, I think we had the bases loaded and 2 outs, and it didn't happen. And just the whole time, the 2 outs, you know, everybody that didn't perform well off of 7 hours of sleep, we kind of pulled that out and kept trying to adjust as the game went on. But I think at the end of the day, when we scored 2 in the 6th and they come right back and scored 2, I thought that was a difference in the ball game, because I thought that just felt like a climb the whole way. McMillan was good. We at least shoved the ball in the strike zone today, which was a good bounce back from yesterday, but it just seemed uphill. When we made it 5-3, it's like, you know, I thought that was a huge shutdown inning for us that we were not able to get. And then, you know, we kind of tried to crank it up late there, but there was just too many times once a guy got on or something happened. I thought the shifts today for us was the shifts were no good. We could have made a few more plays and didn't correct some of that till later. Some of those things are good, and the coaches work hard to put that stuff together, but there was some contact that we wanted along the way that led to some runs, and they had to earn it, and they did. So I tipped my hat back there, but we wasn't able to close off innings. I thought Bauman come in and got contact that he wanted 2 or 3 times, and that allowed him to build up the lead. And then when they scored 2 in the bottom of the 6th, it made it tougher. We went ahead and brought Cannon in because we're in elimination game and kind of held serve there, and almost had a chance. We needed 1 or 2 more at bats or pass it down a couple more to maybe get to something dramatic there in the ninth to extend the game. But I think at the end of the day, you can play all these scenarios, but I thought the 2-out hits didn't happen for us, and it did happen for them today. And in a nutshell, I think that's what I see the most in today's game.
All right, in the center of the room in the second row.
Butch, after the after the Missouri win, you said you felt like you guys had enough accomplished to host before that. Do you still feel confident in that, and how important would that be for you guys to host?
I'm always confident, and yes, it would be great. Period.
Center front row.
But you touched on it after talking about the first 4 innings of Vanderbilt, and then of Missouri, and then yesterday's game against Vanderbilt. Did you feel like your team was a little tired, the stretch run they had, then playing after midnight for 2 nights in a row? And could this team use a little bit of a reset, maybe a trip to the lake or something this week?
Yeah, we're going to make something positive out of it. But if you want to win a championship, the 9 World Series, that I've been a part of as an assistant and bag boy, whatever, grad assistant, everything, head coach. You have to work through these hurdles. You can't do tired. You can't do cold, or you can't win the first month of the season, right? So there's some things that you can't do. Every time I've walked in Omaha, you're not walking in full strength, and you see people go through an entire season. And I guess the people that you hear that don't understand that just probably never been there. But somehow you have to muster up, whatever you got at that end of the year and play your best, and maybe not feel your best after you went on a journey of 60-plus ball games. So at the end of the day, and the things that I'll hash out with these guys, we'll pick up the pieces and we will absolutely start sharpening again and get this team ready to play. But I will remind them, because there's 8 things that happened today that were from a mind standpoint, and this winds up being your best tool, especially in a tournament like this where you're matched athletically. This is the best amateur baseball on earth, and when you're matched athletically, this becomes the biggest thing that you possess. That was off for us some today in some moments. And again, like I said, if the 2-out hits had changed one way or the other there, it would have been right in the ball game. They had to bounce back from something last night too. But I just think this is going to be our biggest tool if we have any intention of trying to make it to Omaha, 3 of the last 4. But we have to stay in the moment. I had a charge with this team that I wanted them to win the SEC tournament. So, it's okay to fail at things. It's just about getting back, put back together, and go try for what's next. What's really neat at the end of the day, what matters the most, is there's still opportunity in baseball for this ball club, and that's what we'll focus on, turn our attention to, and start preparing for.
In the front row, in blue.
Butch, can you kind of talk about what Bryson accomplished this year after breaking the home run record? I mean, with all these great players that have played at Auburn.
Yeah, Josh Etheridge come out and saw him last week. I thought that was the neatest thing in the world. He's one of those 7 guys that's had 20-plus home runs. Hunter Marsh came over here right before I walked up to see you guys. I recruited Hunter and coached him for a year. Think the world of him and how those guys have received him. That's just 2 examples there of Bryson Ware. And I talked about it as he got off to such a good start this year. I talked about the ability for him to stay in the fight. That's kind of where that came from, was Bryson Ware was a defensive replacement on last year's ball club late. He's worked so hard, and the bottom line is just the ability to evaluate the strike zone. His strike zone got smaller. He was able to get off his best swing. He never quit on himself. It's just good for anybody to see, and not just baseball, but anything, is just hang in there. He didn't run from his school. He didn't run from his coaching staff. He absolutely stayed in the fight. We put him at third base, gave him another chance to win something, tried to put some competition over there because we're not sure the at-bats could hold up. And for a young man, now he's talented. So as talented as he is, to be able to put it together, redefine, get his strike zone smaller, and absolutely run it all the way through this tournament with the season that he's had is just, it's one of the neatest things I've been a part of. So I'll forever hold him in the highest regard, and I think that's a good lesson for now when it's so easy to, touch the reset button for somebody to hang in there like that, and he deserves everything coming his way.
All right, we have time for one more down in the front row.
Butch, just what do you feel like, I guess, your pitching staff can take away from an SEC tournament where, last night kind of the freebies and, I think gave up 10, 14 hits, somewhere in that range today, but what do you feel like they can take away from this week?
Yeah, I think it's just freshen up. That was a pretty heck of a good run, 12-3 the second half. So when you got a chance to win every night, you have to understand that your pitching is probably being used more instead of less. When you're getting your teeth kicked in, sometimes you just say uncle and you wind up throwing some other guys. So Cannon looks like, he got out of some stuff there late, but it's not as quite crisp and sharp. Again, no excuses, but if they got to a point to where, I think nothing but a good reset is going to allow them. So we'll probably give them a couple of days. We'll come back. We'll probably do some squad stuff. I guess Monday, is that when we start figuring things out and pointing toward what's next. And yes, we will go to Lake Martin because we've done it the last 2 World Series trips. So I already got the ice cream boat and stuff like that showing up at the dock. And so we'll do that to show great care and try to reconnect and try to sharpen some baseball stuff and get their minds back right. But I think just the freshness. I think the pitchers learned their lesson. And whatever, showed up last night, I know they were still engaged in trying, but I think a good reset. I think John Armstrong's coming back a little bit. We've been nursing him back and probably kept him in there. Probably shouldn't have brought him out for that last inning. Those 2 runs wound up being crucial because of the swing of the bat by Bryson Ware. But I think we can be better for it. I think we've learned those tenets of what's so important and learned those lessons. But they've been working hard for us for quite a while now. I think just recycling them and I think they'll be ready to go and put back together in pretty short order next week.
All right, well, Coach, thank you for your time. Good luck in your postseason.
Thank you.